what's up? I'm Brian here doing another video for you guys, and this time we're going to be talking about two new reveals for a couple of multi-packs. This is a 2-pack and technically a 3-pack, although it's not really much of a 3-pack. So this is going to be part of the Doom and Destruction multi-packs that are going to be Amazon exclusives. They're also going to be available in Hasbro Pulse, but basically this is kind of a twist on the Wreck and Rule packs, and this is going to be the Decepticon Mayhem squad. So first of all, we're going to talk about this 2-pack, which is Breakdown and Windsweeper. Now, when we first heard about the listings, we heard that we're going to get 7 figures in 3 different multi-packs, and when you take a look at the other multi-pack that we're going to see, that does make sense. But when we heard about that, it was supposed to come with Knockout and Windsweeper, and I think that was a mistranslation or a misunderstanding, because instead we're actually going to get a Voyager class Breakdown, and I am thrilled about that for a number of reasons. One, we get a Generations Breakdown to go with the Knockout and the Bulkhead, and 2, I have hopes for the other multi-pack that wasn't shown, which was Bludgeon and Ruckus. Now, I'm glad that we're getting Ruckus. I imagine it's going to be a repaint of the Beachcomber, but Bludgeon I just got like a day ago, so I kind of don't need another Bludgeon, but that's fine. Or maybe it's going to be a different Bludgeon. I don't know. Anyways, let's go ahead and start off with this multi-pack, starting off with the Windsweeper. Now, we heard that this was going to be a Selects figure a long time ago, and eventually they dropped that, and it's just going to be part of the Mayhem squad. This is a repaint of the Needle Nose, which I'm totally fine with because I love that Needle Nose. So, yeah, thrilled. Yeah, take a look at the color scheme. I like the dark red, I like the tan of the wings, and you can see that the guns are going to be completely in silver. They're still the Target Masters, but they're in silver because they're referencing the original TriggerCon gimmick, which was the blasters that would flip around for the jet mode. It's the same thing as the crankcase, so we're getting both of those, so that's cool. Anyways, yeah, I also love the printing on the wings with the purple and the yellow. You could also see the silver that's tracing the yellow. Yeah, that looks nice. And then we take a look at the robot mode, and what I don't like about this is the silver chest. It's just a little too much, but I do like the new head with the orange paint and the fact that he's got a face this time. And I like the tan throughout the limbs of the arms and then the lower legs. So, a little simple with the paint, but I understand. Another cool thing is that with the Needle Nose, you can combine that with the Skyquake. So, with this, you can combine it with the Dreadwing, and I think the colors will look pretty good because the dark red and the dark blue will contrast pretty nicely. Anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at the Target Masters because now they're their own characters. Apparently this is Ozone and Cleansweep, if I'm not mistaken. Now, I don't know which is which, but yeah, again, they're completely in silver to reference the TriggerCon, but they did manage to paint the faces, so you're going to get the dark gunmetal, but mainly they're just weapons, and you can do the same gimmicks that you could with the Needle Nose. And yeah, I'm totally fine with it. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to Breakdown. So this is the second half of this 2-pack, and it is going to be a straight-up repaint of the Bulkhead. Now, when Bulkhead came out, they also re-released the Breakdown for a multi-pack that came with a Viacon. So I thought, okay, they did that to pair with the Bulkhead, especially considering that that came with the Breakdown hammer, and you can swap that for the Arms Micron figure. But no, instead they decided to go back and they're going to do a Generations Legacy style Breakdown. And I think that's pretty cool. Don't confuse this with the Stunticon, obviously. But I like the dark blue here. I actually thought that someone had photoshopped this because the first image I saw out of anything was someone shared the Breakdown. So I thought, why is someone photoshopping that? I mean, it looks fine, but that looks kind of weird. But no, it was the actual figure itself. I do like the dark blue of the canopy. The orange logos kind of confused me. I don't know if it's a reference to Octopunch or the Mayhem squad. I don't know. But he does have the Decepticon logos on the side as well. But yeah, it's essentially the same truck, which I would like to see something different just to contrast with Bulkhead. But, you know, it gets the job done, and I actually kind of like it more on Breakdown. Anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at the robot mode, and it's got that square chest, but I love the head sculpt here. It's the brand new head, and it's stylized like the Prime design. Another thing that I really like is that he's got the shoulder gun, and it's painted with purple. That's something that the original Breakdown had. And you can see the hammer slapped on the canopy. Now, obviously, he's got the canopy armor gimmick that Bulkhead had, but because the Wreck and Rule line carried that hammer, they decided to bring that in for this. Now, obviously, with the hammer, you can't just slap that on the fist. I mean, you can, but it will look weird. So what they did was, if you got the mace attached to it, which he also does include, you can plug the hammer on the front of that, so that's a nice attachment. But yeah, I like the dark blue. I like the lighter tones that aren't obviously too bright, and I love the red in the face, and I think it looks fantastic. Anyways, moving on, we've got another multi-pack. We've got Barrage and Chop Shop, as well as another figure. Again, we'll talk about that in a second. So these are going to be reworks, not just repaints, but reworks of the Bombshell and Shrapnel. And I'm kind of surprised by that, how much they're willing to go for this. Because I just thought, okay, they're going to straight up repaint this. It's not going to look 100%. It's never going to look 100%. But for what they're doing, I mean, man, it could have fooled me. Anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at Chop Shop first. So this is going to be an orange repaint of the Shrapnel. And you can definitely see that from the chest laying there, and then the arms on the side, as well as the legs. So because Bombshell and Shrapnel share so many similarities, you're going to see the same legs throughout the entire line. Also, I wanted to point out that this means that we're pretty much getting the full team, because with Ransack, we're getting these two, and apparently we're getting Venom in the next year, or at least that's what the listings say. So, anyways, moving on from that, we've got brand new pinchers, we've got brand new legs on the side, which don't really flow with the legs that you could see underneath it. It's reusing the same legs as the Shrapnel figure, but I believe Chop Shop is supposed to have 8 legs, or 6, I can't remember exactly, but I guess it kind of makes sense. He also comes with the same blaster piece, and it's just painted in that kind of burnt orange color, and I think that's fine. And yeah, it looks pretty good. Taking a look at the robot mode, it's funny because the last Chop Shop that we actually got was also a Shrapnel repaint. It was for the Power of the Primes line, or Prime Wars line. I can't, no, it was Combiner Wars, I think. Anyways, there he is with the 2 blasters, so yes, it will come with those 2 leg blasters as well. And I like the new sculpt of the pinchers. I think that's nice, and they can open up. And yeah, he's also got a new head. I like the silver paint on the chest. That looks pretty cool. And the cockpit, that kind of blends in with the toy. I also like the touches of orange, especially on the legs and the feet. So yeah, I'm thrilled. And then taking a look at the Barrage figure. So this one is going to be a rework of the Bombshell, and it's a heavy rework of the Bombshell, because you can see that he's got new insect legs on the side, so you don't need the extra legs. You can have those as blasters. I love the silver striping that goes across the back of it. And I also like the fact that the head is still incorporated with the design, but you can see the little antennas at the top there, and then the brand new horn that comes up and then tucks away into the chest, which I guess is probably the reason why these have hinges. But yeah, he just looks really cool. Also, they tried to blend the eyes of the Bombshell Beetle mode, and I think that's pretty cool. I also like the red touches here and there. Oh no, it's not reusing the hinge. That's actually the back of Bombshell. Actually, I just realized that the entire chest, when you see the robot mode, is backwards, because you can see the hinges that fold in. Oh, that's actually pretty neat. But I love how the head tucks into the body, and it feels very natural. And reversing that body actually makes him look completely different. I wouldn't be able to tell if it wasn't for the legs still having the wheel-like details on the shins, but I love the new head sculpt. I love the color scheme of the green and yellow. He looks fantastic. The touches of red is nice. I'm thrilled because I've always wanted a Barrage in the line, but they never did it up until now, so that's cool. Anyways, moving on, we also have this hammer, which I do have to look up the name of this guy. It is Malleus Minotaurus. So yeah, they're just gonna make up a brand new name here, but this is the first repaint of the Smashdown. So this figure has been around since Siege, never had a repaint. It had a repack in Earthrise. Finally, we're getting a repaint, and it makes sense. They're doing it in silver. I would love to see one in blue, by the way. I think that'd be very nice. But anyways, taking a look at this figure itself, yeah, it transforms into a hammer, and it's completely in gray. It's kind of like the Target Masters that we've seen previously, but this is kind of a random throw-in, and technically the third figure. So the next multi-pack is just going to be the 2, and that's going to make the 7. Which I think is kind of lame that this is... I mean, I like the inclusion of it, but having this as counted as another figure, I don't know. Anyways, I do like the head sculpt with the horns, obviously. And he does have the handle, which you can take off and plug into his hand. A lot of people have done that. But what's cool about this is that his forehead has the logo of the Solus Prime, which is big on hammers, so that does make sense. But not only that, we heard that in 2025 we're supposed to get some of the Prime, so I wonder if this is supposed to incorporate with those figures. Another cool thing is that he does come with the same blast effect that we've seen previously, but not only that, he includes another blast effect that will attach onto the back. It will just grip the back, and yeah, that seems pretty cool. Anyways, with that out of the way, what do you guys think? Please comment below, let me know. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and all those fun doodads. And we'll see you guys next time.
Allspark TV. Now that's just prime.